And on this Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025 edition of Newsmakers, the U.S. Supreme Court today heard a Christian street preacher's challenge to a protest ordinance in Mississippi that he was previously convicted of violating. Gabriel Olivier asked the justices to let his lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of the ordinance, which restricts demonstrations outside of an amphitheater in the city of Brandon, move forward, claiming the measure forbids him from sharing his faith. Local government officials nationwide have stressed that a decision in Olivier's favor could prompt lawsuits against ordinances in cities around the country. Olivier was charged with violating the ordinance and pleaded no contest after he and other demonstrators yelled insults at attendees through a loudspeaker at the facility's busiest intersection. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court appeared sympathetic yesterday to arguments by a New Jersey-based pro-life pregnancy center that the state's request for donor information chilled its First Amendment rights. State Attorney General Matthew Platkin had issued a subpoena 2 years ago against the group, First Choice Women's Resource Centers, into whether it was deceiving donors by falsely suggesting it offered abortion referrals. The group sued, contending the subpoena was intimidation by a state official whose views were hostile to the group's position against abortion. Yesterday, in a hearing before the Supreme Court, several justices suggested the threat of disclosure could make donors hesitate before donating to the group. Free press advocates also sided with the group in the suit. Newly filed legislation in Missouri is calling for abortion to be criminalized as murder. KCTV reports the Missouri Prenatal Equal Protection Act would ban all abortions and charge parents and abortion providers with murder. Voters in Missouri approved Amendment 3 in 2024 to overturn the state's near-total abortion ban. The Texas Tech University system is banning courses that teach race or gender prejudice or recognize more than two sexes. Chancellor Brandon Creighton, a longtime critic of liberal indoctrination in higher education, issued the memo on Monday. The Lubbock-based university is making the changes in compliance with Senate Bill 37, which also calls for a review of courses related to sexual orientation. Creighton is a former GOP state senator who authored SB 37. The Texas A&M University system recently made a similar decision. The U.S. says it will restrict visas for those involved in anti-Christian violence in Nigeria and elsewhere. The move follows the designation last month of Nigeria as a country of particular concern under the International Religious Freedom Act. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said in a statement today that he's added a new policy under existing rules that will allow the State Department to restrict visa issuance to people and their families who, quote, have directed, authorized, significantly supported, participated in, or carried out violations of religious freedom. He said he took the step, quote, in response to the mass killings and violence against Christians by radical Islamic terrorists, Fulani ethnic militias, and other violent actors in Nigeria and beyond. In addition to Nigeria, the list of nations designated as countries of particular concern includes China, Cuba, Eritrea, Iran, Myanmar, North Korea, Nicaragua, Pakistan, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan. And that's Newsmakers for this Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025 edition. I'm Keith Black.